Hi BookTube, my name is Juan. I am just one reader. Welcome back to another video in which I tell you how much I hate myself for all the things that I wanted to read this last week, but I couldn't, or I couldn't really read as much as I wanted to. But then again, I will also try to be hopeful and tell you what I plan on reading this week. So, the first book that I feel like I am failing at reading, and it really makes me very angry and very sad, but it's true. I am losing the fight with this one, and this is the Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman. I love this book so very much. It's probably my favorite book in my favorite trilogy, and it just hurts me. It physically pains me that I feel like I am mistreating this book. I feel like I am not reading it the way that it should be read. I'm just not able right now because of my life circumstances and my activities and everything. I'm not able to really dedicate the time to reading this at the moment. So it's really painful. I still am in like the first third of the book, and I've been reading this for all of September now, so I really should get on with it so that I can read the upcoming Book of Dust, The Secret Commonwealth, which is coming out in October, and I really want to read that when it comes out. But I guess if I don't finish the original series before that one, I'll just have to keep postponing it, but that's okay. The good thing is it's a wonderful book. It just hurts me that I'm not putting in the time that I wish I were. Another book that I am incredibly failing at is the Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I was supposed to be reading this, buddy reading this with my friend Medad Sadoun. He's from here, from YouTube, from the comment section, and I think he's gonna start a channel pretty soon. Are you? So I was supposed to be reading this with him. He was very kind and very insistent that we read this together, and I really thank him for the opportunity and the invitation. But I'm just really struggling with everything else that I'm reading. And so I haven't even opened this book yet. I haven't even put a bookmark in it, which that means I just haven't really tried. I'm gonna try and read at least the first chapter this week. And this is a fairly short book. It looks like it's gonna be fairly easy to get through, but I am so tired all the time. And when I finally finish everything else that I am reading for school and for my classes and for my job, I am out of energy and I just want to go to the movies. Like this weekend, I watched 4 movies, by the way, back to back at the movie theater, and they were amazing. Midsommar was, I think it might be my favorite, or one of my favorite movies of the year so far. I also watched this morning Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, which was wonderful. I saw a documentary, a Mexican documentary, which was really good about a kind of whale that is like a endangered species. And then I watched another movie just now about a Russian submarine. Really great movies. But anyway, off topic. All I want to do when I am finished reading for academic purposes is watch YouTube or watch Friends or watch movies or watch Gilmore Girls. But I will try. I swear I will try reading this. Okay, so what I did actually read this week was for my psychoanalytical training, which was actually very exciting. Like, I am really enjoying my semester. My 4th year as a psychoanalyst in training is wonderful. It's so complex and it's so demanding, but I'm very fortunate that I can do what I really love the most in life. So I don't complain, but I am very tired. So one of the things that we are reading is this very old book that I had to get copies of, like photocopies, because the book is just not available anymore. It's an old book. It's called Internalization in Psychoanalysis, and I could tell you all about it, but honestly, I don't think it would be very interesting unless you are a psychotherapist or a psychoanalyst yourself. But it's all about the psychoanalytical process, the psychoanalytical setting, how to work with certain parts of the patient's internal structure. It's very abstract, complicated work, but it is it's sinking in, right? Then I also continued with the interpretation of dreams by, of course, our Holy Father, Sigmund Freud. And this is just wonderful. Just reading more and more of it just confirms the genius of this man. It's wonderful. And then I am also reading at the same time this book, which is so interesting. This is in Spanish, but it basically is, it's called Freud's Self-Analysis and the Discovery of Psychoanalysis. This is by Didier Ancieux, who was a French psychoanalyst, one of the most important psychoanalysts, and this book is his doctoral thesis, and it's all about the interpretation of dreams by Freud, and it's a super interesting book. It's very, very hard to read because it's sort of a recontextualization of Freud's work, the interpretation of dreams. It's also a historical document, so it's like a historical, almost biographic text about the interpretation of dreams and about Freud and about the psychoanalytical movement. But then again, it's also a revision and it's also a critique, and it contextualizes Freud's work on the interpretation of dreams, but in a modern setting. So it's just wonderful. Then what I will start reading this week is two books. One of them is Oedipus Rex by Sophocles, and this is, of course, one of the most important books, one of the most important documents, texts that a psychoanalyst has to read. I have read this, but I am reading it again because we are, as psychoanalysts, we're always trying to understand what Freud called the Oedipal complex or the Oedipus complex or the castration complex. We're trying to understand it and recontextualize it all the time. So we are constantly coming back to this myth and trying to see what is universal about this that is still very much current today, which it is. So I'm going to be reading that, and I am also very excited to be reading this book, which is brand new. It's just been published here in Mexico. This is called Mapas del Inconsciente, Maps of the Unconscious, and it was actually written by two of my teachers and supervisors from the Mexican Society of Psychoanalysis. So these are two people that I know very well. They teach at my institute. They have taught me. They have supervised me personally. They are wonderful people. I think you can even have, there's pictures of them. They're right there. They're wonderful. And this book is a great revision and a great understanding of psychoanalysis, all the way back from, Freud and the beginnings of psychoanalysis with things that are not used anymore, like hypnosis or suggestion or, the way that Freud started out. And it's a revision up until today, what is actually going on in psychoanalysis today in 2019. So it's a very ambitious undertaking, but it's wonderful. And I'm actually giving this to my students because I also teach at university. I am giving this to my students to read. So it's wonderful. I am reading with my students something that my own teachers wrote. So it's like a chain of knowledge. It's the circle of life, and it moves so. By the way, did you see the latest Disney live action remake of The Lion King? It was awful. One of the worst movies of the year. Oh my god. Ugh. Anyway, so I will be reading this, and that's it. That should be enough to kill me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.